That's better. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. Anyway, hi. It's been a while, hasn't it? A lot has happened since I last streamed, and we're gonna talk about it. But first off, you guys just let me know. Can you hear the music all right? Can you hear me all right? Is there anything I need to, get sorted? Wait a bit, see if people are gonna respond. Yep, audio good. All right, thank you, Small. Lovely to, well, not see you again, but, brilliant. Well, I guess I should just kind of start out with, just everything that's happened since I last did a live stream. So, I made this little video on this, like, very extinct film franchise that you could call it, Sub-Zero Heroes. And it kind of just, blew up, and, to be honest, I've kind of been riding that wave of success ever since, because ever since last year, the channel has kind of been in a bit of a rut that I'm trying to figure out how to get out of, but we'll get there. I guess I also need to really just mention why I haven't really been streaming a lot, and it mainly comes down to the last, 2 or so streams I did before I decided to take a very long hiatus from it. I don't know, something really felt off about them. I didn't really feel like my energy was there, and it kind of just brought to light this issue that just talking to a camera, I feel very, it feels very vulnerable. I'm very used to having a script I can work off. And actually, just having it here, and especially when I don't really have anything to direct my energy to or really focus on, I worry that, it's not very entertaining. And that's kind of why I stopped doing it. Even now you can hear just all the stuttering and rambling. It's, oh. But, we are back. And, the reason we are back is that we are celebrating 4 years of the Gladding Gladiator, which is just absolutely insane to me. 4 years ago, I uploaded a video called, what was the original title? Stop Asking for Disney Remakes? I can't remember, I changed the title. But I uploaded that video. Do not watch it, it is very bad. I am doing my best to, bury, my first year of content at the moment. But, no, I made that, and the rest is history. I like to think I've improved even just slightly since then. I got a better quality camera rather than just my phone. I started using an actual microphone, and I learned how to actually talk like a regular person in my videos instead of just screaming in this impression of, big, late 2000s YouTubers who just made a career just screaming at their cameras. But yeah, so I'm not really sure how long I'm gonna be streaming today. I guess we'll just see if you guys have any questions you want to ask me, and we'll just kind of keep going until it stops being entertaining, I suppose. It's, oh god, it feels so weird to be doing this again. Let's see if anyone's... Wow, it's been that long already. I remember first subbing upon your channel in October 2020. It's wild how much positive change has happened to your channel since. I know, it's just been insane. It's especially, last March and April, which is when both the Ice Age video and the Muppets from Space video really took off. That just kind of propelled me. I did about a year's worth of growth in 2 months. And then after that, it kind of just stopped, which is just a really weird thing to experience. So it's for the past year, ever since I took those 4 months off to make the Owl House video, the channel has just kind of not really been going anywhere. And I've been trying to figure out why. It's a lot of times I'm just oh, what did I do wrong? It's what could I have done differently? And I'm kind of coming up empty, to be honest. But, it'll pass. hopefully we'll eventually get out of this 8.6 subscriber um, barrier, I guess, and who knows, maybe by the end of the year we'll be at 10k. A whatever can dream. Speaking of which, I also got this. Yeah, I got this at MomoCon, which I guess we can also talk about that a bit, because I recently went to MomoCon, and it was just such an amazing, life-changing experience. You know, being in the UK, a lot of like the cartoons and things I talk about, they're quite niche over here. It's like, you know, a random passerby on the street doesn't know what Steven Universe is. Maybe Phineas and Ferb if you're lucky. But over in America, it's just, all that stuff is mainstream. And even just getting on the plane, I had people like recognizing like my Steven Universe hat and everything. And it was just such a cool experience. Especially getting to meet a bunch of my, like, you know, other YouTube friends in person and actually, you know, form real connections with them instead of just talking on Discord. It was... But you'll get to hear a lot more about that because I am currently working on a video that will be going on the second channel. It's going to be kind of like the official launch of the second channel, because I know at the start of the year I uploaded a bunch of old reactions and then I've kind of just not done anything with it. I promise things are in the works and there is actually going to be new things coming out for it fairly soon. But first I actually have to edit that. Also, it is summer. It is very hot. And I'm suffering from hay fever like you would not believe. So, yeah. If my voice gets scratchy or I have to, like, leave for a bit to, do hay fever things, I will, apologies, but, you know, it's necessary part of life. Let's see if anyone else has said anything. How you been doing? Any cool stuff happen? I graduated a couple weeks ago. Oh, congratulations, Small. That's so amazing to hear. Really the main thing I've been doing, aside from MomoCon, is I'm currently rehearsing for a production of, Addams Family, which, that's going to be... We start performing that on the 19th. And then pretty much as soon as I finish Addams Family, I'm gonna be moving yet again. This time I'm going to be moving in with two of my best friends, and it's kind of amazing because it's like, you know, I've known them for almost 5 years and we've always wanted to do this, but circumstances never quite lined up until this year. So yeah, I'm very excited, and like the new room is going to be amazing for making videos. I've already started like thinking like, oh, how I'm gonna like lay out the set and everything, and there is like there is a single wall at the front of the house that is just a massive window, which means I'm going to get so much good lighting. Because, I don't know if you can notice, like, my window in this room has been very small, and because I'm on, like, the back side of the house, it means, like, sometimes I will wake up and I will have, like, a 2-hour window to film things before the sun just says, see you later. But no, I'm doing great. You know, I've got some interesting things in the works that I can't really talk about because it's meant to be a surprise for the very end of the year, but it's gonna be big. One of your videos I enjoyed was your look at Teacher's Pet by Clever Hilarious 20. I adore that video, and also it's like, you know, another amazing thing that's happened to me this year so far is that because of that video, I got to interview Gary Baseman, which was just... Oh, I'm still kind of coming down from that whole experience, honestly. But I guess I should kind of, like, you know, set the scene for, like, kind of what happened. So, obviously, I uploaded that video in, like, March 2022? Like, somewhere around there. And in October of last year... I had a friend staying over with me that night, and I woke up in the morning and I go to check Twitter because it will always be Twitter to me. And I see a notification. I see Gary Baseman has liked like every single one of my Teacher's Pet tweets that I've ever made. And especially one where I'm asking about, you know, a Spot plush, because that's one of like my holy grails that I want to get for my collection. And so he asked me to email him. and I do, and you know, eventually I get to a point where I'm just kind of, right, I'm gonna shoot my shot here, ask for an interview, and that's all they wrote. But you know, it was really like one of my favorite moments just of the channel so far, getting to do that, and I hope it won't be the only one. I hope, you know, I might get the chance to interview some more people and hopefully get a bit better at it. Do. Oh, how was the con you went to? Was it MomoCon? Yes. I just, I just kind of talked about that. So, if you arrive late, you can like go back and see me like go on about it. But so many amazing things happened while I was over there, and I'm kind of like thinking, oh, like what do I want to say? What do I want to leave for the video? I think I think I can show the coolest thing. I think. Okay, okay. Let's just put these to one side. So, one of the reasons I really wanted to go to MomoCon is because Matt Brawley would be there, the creator of Amphibia, one of my favourite shows of all time. But I had a very personal reason for why I wanted to go and meet him. Because there's a good chance you found this channel when I uploaded a video about Amphibia shortly after it ended, called How Amphibia Became Disney's Greatest Love Story, which was all about analysing the show and Anne's journey throughout it and how it impacted me and my own journey of self-love. And I uploaded that video. It is 2 hours and 18 minutes. 2 hours and 19 minutes later, Matt Brawley retweets it and causes it to just kind of blow up overnight, which in a way has gotten my channel to where it is today. And I don't think I would have experienced anything I have been able to experience over the past 2 years had it not been for that video. So I really wanted to, go meet Matt in person and thank him for that. But of course, it's been 2 years. Even though part of me thought, oh, what if he like recognized me or something? Realistically, I thought he probably isn't going to remember me. But I start like telling him the story, and he cuts me off and like asks me, just like, wait, did you make that video? And and then it was, oh, but to cut a long story short, yeah, he remembered me, and this is just like, I am going to treasure this forever. And it was only a small part of what amounted to quite possibly the best day of my life, but you'll get to hear more about it when my vlog/recap video comes out on the second channel in hopefully a few weeks. We'll see how that goes. Let's pop this guy back. I've got a bunch of other things signed, but you're just going to have to wait for the video to see all those and all the random misadventures I got up to on this just wonderful trip. Atlanta is such an amazing place, and I am really hoping I can go again next year. But it does kind of depend. It's like what state the channel is in, but we'll see. Anyway, let's see if anyone else has said anything. Algorithms want consistent content, sadly. Yeah, and that's kind of why this year I kind of decided that, alright, making 3-hour analysis videos, while I love making them, for a channel of my size, they're not very feasible. So I wanted this year to make a bunch of smaller videos, about 40 minutes to an hour. But so far, those haven't been doing great either. The SpongeBob discussion video, which is one of my favourite videos I've done so far, just because I finally got to talk about possibly my favourite show ever, that just crossed over 1,000 views, which is the most a video has gotten since The Owl House last year. But, like I said, it's algorithm's gonna algorithm. you know, I'll figure it out eventually, and hopefully we'll start seeing some traction again. Um, yeah. Hi. Oh. Oh, no, no, Toast. No, no. There's no bad blood between us whatsoever. It's like, if anything, I'm flattered that, people want to hear my thoughts on their favorite shows and value my opinion that much. But like what this channel is, it's very much about, the talking about the things I'm passionate about and the things that mostly impacted me as a kid. So, Ice Age and SpongeBob and the Muppets and all of that. And so that's kind of why I don't really take requests, just because it would feel ingenuine for me to, talk about these shows that I don't really have an emotional attachment to, if that makes any sense. The whole angle of this channel is that it's, me just talking about, and when I say talking about, I mean info dumping about all the, movies and shows that I love and that really left an impact on me. But no, there's no hard feelings whatsoever. Alrighty. So I guess while we wait to see if a few more questions come rolling in. Hi, Ria. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. I hope one of those is right. I guess, I mentioned at the very start that the reason I took a hiatus from streaming is because I just feel very exposed when I'm not working off a script and just have to improvise, which, I'm an actor, and improv has never been my strong suit. I very much like being told what to do, and like if you give me the script, I will interpret how to say the script. I will, I will think about the character journey, and I will like figure out how best to deliver these lines. But I also need to be told what to do. I can't just be, plopped on stage and just told, go. But, yeah, so that's kind of like why I took like a lengthy break from streaming. It used to be not that big an issue when I had like, when I was doing the puzzles and everything like that, because I had something to direct my energy to when there wasn't questions to be answered. So there wasn't as much like awkward air or like silence where it's just like I was wondering, oh, what do I do? What happens now? But I want to really get back into streaming and give it another honest attempt. And I think the way to do that would obviously be to try and get into gaming, which sounds simple, but actually, trying to get all the equipment and everything, it's a process. So, hopefully by the end of the year, because I would absolutely love to do gaming content, but in particular, I would do like licensed movie and TV show games, and I would just go through and I would just tell you all every single reference. Like, I would just play like, SpongeBob Truth or Square, and I could be just like, oh, that's references that episode from this season, and so on and so forth. Things like playing like Nickelodeon kart races with like you guys or something like that. That's kind of the dream, but the dream is quite expensive, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. What shows would you like to cover that haven't made it to Disney Plus in your area yet? That's another thing. I actually finally got a working VPN that allows me to access the American Disney Plus. So I can finally watch Pepper Ann. I am. Oh dear. Oh. Perry fell. Getting a bit too excited about Pepper Ann. But no, I can finally watch Pepper Ann, and I'm so excited about it. Which brings me to a video that I'm maybe working on at the moment. I don't know. Basically, I'm trying to like rethink my whole strategy so that I'm only working on things I feel, the most passionate about. Because I used to have this really bad habit where I would try and like schedule out like 6 months worth of videos. The dyslexia is kicking in. And I would, be like saying just like, all right, so I'm gonna record this on this day, and I'm gonna edit it over like this many days, and I'm gonna get out on this day, and it's and it was very stressful because I crave a schedule, and then I make a schedule, and then I cannot stick to it, which very much wasn't doing my mental health any favors, let's say. So I've kind of decided, especially like going into this year, just no schedule. We are just going to, ironically, the thing I hate the most, and we are going to improvise. So at this point, I'm kind of just like, I have like a list of ideas, and then when I need to make another video, I will go and I'll like look through them, and I'll see which ones spark the most joy in that moment. And at the moment, the thing I am really, debating working on is a deep dive into fishhooks, because that is also on the American Disney Plus, meaning I have access to it. Because I don't really want to spoil like what my main thesis of that video would be. But Fishhooks is such a weird show because to me it feels like it takes place in two different eras of Disney Channel programming. Because it started in 2010 and it aired its first season alongside shows like Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, and Sweet Life on Deck. And then it ended in 2014. Long after all those other shows had said their goodbyes and had been replaced by new programming targeting a younger demographic. And so, yeah, it's kind of just like, I kind of want to talk about this weird, like, time displacement Fishhooks has, and it's like, it's weird place in, like, the legacy of Disney TVA, especially also with, the controversy that has surrounded it in the years since it ended. But, yeah, so I guess, like, the reason I'm not just, like, fully announcing that I'm making a Fishhooks video is because it would be another, like, 3-hour one, because I'd need that much time to properly just analyze that show. And like I said, I'm also working on this absolutely massive year-long project in between all these little videos I'm doing in the meantime. And I'm kind of just, like, having to debate with myself whether I have the bandwidth right now to take on this project despite how much I really want to make it. But, it would be one of those where basically I would need an entire month to make that video. But we'll see. We'll see. The next video I have planned is going to be about the Muppets at Walt Disney World. The 1990 special that released 10 days before Jim Henson's death. And it's kind of this, like, odd window into what Disney's Muppets with Jim still at the helm would have been like, which very serendipitous timing considering that documentary just released, which I still have to watch. I'll probably get to it tonight, after I finish editing a few more things here and there. But, yeah, so that's going to be the next video. And it will also be the final video I'm planning to film here before I move. So, when I move into the new place, if Fishhooks is still sparking joy, maybe? Oh god, it's just like, I'm flying by the seat of my pants this year, and I am, both thrilled and terrified. Which very much just sums up, like, just everything I've been doing so far in 2024, especially MomoCon. Like, I am, like, so terrified. Well, I was so terrified of, like, traveling anywhere by myself. So much so that, last year, me and my friends just went somewhere else in the country. And I had to book my own hotel room. And I kid you not, I might have had a panic attack over it. But, in the end, I actually, like, really enjoyed staying in a hotel room by myself. So much so that I thought, hop, skip, and a jump. Let's fly across the Atlantic. But yeah, no, I'm still reeling from like just these past few months and like everything I've gotten to do. But you know, hopefully I've still not peaked. Hopefully, like the best is yet to come. But we'll see. Sometimes I worried if I'm just doomed to be the Ice Age guy forever. But you know, obviously, I can think of worse fates. I don't even know where my ironic love for those movies ends and my unironic love for those movies begins anymore, to be honest. Hey, I saw the Dan the Man update video and saw you saw the Garfield movie, so what do you think about it? An absolute masterpiece, right? Wait for the MomoCon video. Wait for the MomoCon video, because that would be spoiling one of the best segments of that video. I'd love for you to watch Pepper Ann. I'd love for me to watch Pepper Ann too. It's like I have heard nothing but great things about that show. Every single clip I see from it has me rolling, and it just seems like such a stylistically distinct Disney show from that era that I would just be so interested in checking out. I really love that you're a musical theatre fan. Excuse me. What would you personally say are your 5 favourite musical productions? Personally, I would say Beetlejuice, Hamilton, Heathers, Be More Chill, and Dear Evan Hansen. Okay. Do I give the sensible answer or the unsensible answer here? The thing is, Heathers, Wicked, and Be More Chill are up there. The SpongeBob musical is like my favourite thing ever as both a musical theatre person and a SpongeBob fanatic. Is it Beauty and the Beast? Is it the stage version of Beauty and the Beast? The thing is, I'm very biased because I was in Avenue Q last year and it is the most fun I have ever had working on a musical. And I do just really love like the book and the songs of Avenue Q, and just obviously it's Muppet inspiration. So yeah, all right. SpongeBob musical, Wicked, Heathers. What else did I say? SpongeBob musical, Wicked, Heathers, Be More Chill, and Avenue Q. Those are my 5 favourite musicals. By the way, hi Squall, lovely to have you here. I gotta admit, so far, this is a lot more fun than I remember it being. It's like, the anxiety is not creeping in as much this time around. Maybe I just needed a break. Maybe that was it. And also the fact, like, all my attempts of streaming in this place didn't really go to plan. Because, like, the first time around, I was trying to make that Lego Winnie the Pooh, set. And it was also just unbearably hot. So, yeah, my mind was kind of, like, running on empty. And then it's, like, the other things that were just kind of, like, I was trying to do, like, off-the-cuff streams, and they just didn't really work. Because I wasn't able to, like, mentally prepare myself or, like, think of, like, alright, what would be the most interesting thing to, do while streaming, and that's why I, unlisted the 2 previous streams, just because I didn't think they were worth watching or keeping up, to be honest. And it's just like, I'm kind of embarrassed by them, to be fully honest with you. Any mobile games you could stream, they could keep costs down. Yeah, I suppose, but I do kind of just have my heart set on playing Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway with, like, if people out there want to play it with me, I kind of have my heart set on that, and, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what, like, mobile games would be interesting enough to stream, because I don't really play mobile games, to be honest with you. Because I have this really bad habit of, like, getting into, like, mobile games and then the dopamine hit becomes too much, or there's like a special event with like a character I really want to get, and then I spend too much money. It was like when I was playing that Disney Tsum Tsum game and they had like a limited time Ice Age event, and I spent like 30 quid and all I got out of it was scrap. I didn't even get Sid, but yeah, so I stay away from mobile games these days. How long does your average 40-minute video take for you to edit? It kind of just depends. It depends on the distance of the moon, I suppose. Because no, that's not right. The depends on the tides. I think that's the saying. The distance of the moon. I don't think the moon moves at all. I think the moon stays the same distance. I did not do well in high school science. Don't know if you can tell. But, no, it really does depend on the tide. Because, the Muppets from Space video, I kid you not, from, like, recording it to having it done, it was, like, 3 days. And that was very, very fast for, like, something I do. The SpongeBob video, extenuating circumstances there, so I'm going to give myself a pass on that. I'd say it roughly takes me about a week, maybe like 10 days to do a 40-minute video, and then for like my 3-hour ones, I typically spend like a week writing the script and then 2 weeks like recording and editing, so that takes me like, 3 to 4 weeks to get done. That documentary is great. I assume you're talking about the Jim Henson one. Yes, I'm excited to see it at some point and see if there's anything I can include in the video, because I also I bought Jim Henson's biography while I was over there, because of course I went to the puppetry center, but again, there's a lot from there that you'll have to wait to see, because I got very emotional at that puppetry center. Thoughts on Moana 2 trailer, if you're interested in that. I'm excited for Moana 2. I know there is a bit of controversy about it, people saying, oh, it's just like the old Disney sequels, where it's like they were going to make this TV series, they've scrapped it, and now they're just like, fusing these like already completed episodes together and calling it a movie. The thing is, it is a very different era in entertainment from when like we had like Atlantis Miles Return and Belle's Magical World and Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True. Because, the Moana series was originally meant to go to streaming. It was meant to be one continuous story with like many through lines throughout. So at that point, it was kind of already being written as though it was like, one continuous story like a movie. And with what we've seen of the animation and it's like the ideas they're incorporating, I am still very excited to see it. I don't think it's going to be a noticeable downgrade from like the other films, like the other animated films Disney is putting out, and that's kind of it. It's just like cautiously optimistic. I'll say that. Oh, congratulations on 4 years. Thank you, SGM, Hadsock. It's, been a wild ride, and it's, hopefully many more years to come. It's, like, I started this channel in 2020 during the pandemic, which I mainly did just because, I was towards the end of my first year at my university course, where suddenly everything was cut off. I could no longer see my friends. I went back to live with my parents. And I was just kind of desperate for something to put my mind and energy into to keep me sane, because I no longer had a set routine. And it's kind of just grown from there to a point where I can't imagine my life at this point if I wasn't doing this. It has become just this amazing thing that I'm just able to put all my passion and drive into in a way that I didn't really have an outlet for until, I started all this. And, yeah, I hope I, get to do it for as long as I am able to, really. As long as even one person still wants to watch them, I'll keep making them. The Ghost of Molly McGee Season 2 is very good, by the way. I don't know if you had the ending spoiled or not, but it's great. Similar to what happened a lot with the Owl House and Amphibia, I've seen a lot of out-of-context images to which I've kind of been able to piece together how it ends. And at the same time, I still have not watched any more episodes of The Ghost and Molly McGee, simply because I still do want to react to it. And that's also, I guess that's also another thing. Like, I still do want to make reaction videos. Like, I still haven't seen a lot of things like Disney's Once Upon a Studio just because I want to react to them. It's just been finding the time and also the energy for it. Because like I said, I'm not very good at just speaking to a camera with, like, no script or, like, structure to what I'm trying to say. So, doing those by myself again, after doing, like, all those Owl House reactions with Vic, it would be an adjustment, because I no longer would have anyone to bounce off or feel like, hey, this is actually somewhat entertaining to people. But I do want to make new reaction videos for the second channel. I still want to keep at that. And I promise, come hell or high water, one day I will cover the rest of the Ghost and Molly McGee. Yeah, I did debate we could have like a singing portion of this, but obviously, I said I'm suffering from hay fever at the moment, so not feeling quite up to it at the moment. Oh, God. I hate summer. I really do hate summer. Oh, God. Also, this chair is broken, currently. Like, one of the bolts just kind of, like, flew out, and I'm, like, holding it back in with tape. So if at any point it's, like, you hear, like, a massive clunk, and then, like, this just, like, I go flying over the back of this chair, now you know why. Ooh, here's a good one. Sorry, guys, it is actually starting to get, like, a bit warm in here now, so I'm just gonna pull this out. What shows have you watched recently? What shows have I watched recently? That's a very good question. I watched Hazbin Hotel when that came out. Well, obviously I've been keeping up with The Great North and Bob's Burgers. Season 4 of The Great North is amazing. I'm kind of debating if I want to do a follow-up video. But the Great North video didn't do that great. So if you haven't seen that video, I'd highly recommend watching it, where I basically just, like, it's this love letter to this show that I think a lot more people should be watching, because it's so amazing, it's neurodivergent, it's gay, it's some other adjective, and it's so wholesome and warm and loving and just a breath of fresh air from other adult animated series. Especially because it's set in Alaska, it has this very more adventurous tone, but it still feels very grounded. I guess, like, as grounded as you can be when there's an episode when they find, like, a passed out bear in a gas station bathroom, and they have to, like, figure out how to transport it without waking it, and it's very, like, comedy of errors, like, amazing. Watch The Great North. If I can accomplish one thing with this channel, I want it to be to get more people to watch The Great North, because thankfully Season 5 has already been confirmed. Though with how Fox has shuffled around the animation domination schedule and the fact Season 4's ratings were not great, I'm a bit worried for the show at the moment, because I really want it to get at least 6 seasons, but, yeah. Watch The Great North. Just, if I just, like, randomly keep saying that over and over again, maybe it'll sink in. That's an Omni flag, right? No, actually, it's a gender fluid flag. Yeah. Kind of coming up empty on, like, other topics we can talk about here. This is what I was afraid of. Look around for a conversation piece. Anything at all? I guess I can, like, try and talk a bit about what I have planned for the rest of the year. Even though, as I said, you know, I'm very much trying to be a bit more spontaneous in the hopes that it staves off burnout, almost, because I did experience burnout quite a bit last year when I was, you know, trying to stick to this set schedule. I guess, if it's my oh, no, hold on. Do you think the Muppets... Oh, God, oh, I have quite a few. Have you seen Inside Job? I will never forgive Netflix for cancelling that show. Inside Job is in the category of shows I've seen the first season of. I have not watched the second just because I am aware it ends on a cliffhanger and I can't do that to myself. So, yeah. There's, like, quite a few Netflix shows that I absolutely love to death. Like, actually, most Netflix animated shows that I have yet to watch, like, the final episodes for. Centaur World, Dead End, Dogs in Space, and Inside Job. Do you think the Muppets franchise is toasted? No, I don't think that at all. You know, I made a video talking about how much I loved Muppets Mayhem and how it felt like a massive return to form in the humor and heart of the Muppets. Like, the video is, like, called, it's like, you know, bringing soul back to the Muppets. Well, no. Now it's called The Show That Saved the Muppets because I wanted it to kind of, like, you know, mirror the Muppets from Space video. But, no, I made a video on, Muppets Mayhem, which, that's another one that, people should check out. Shameless plugs, the live stream. Here we go. Would you fave songs from whatever show? If you're asking if I would, like, make a video, like, ranking songs from, like, certain shows, like Steven Universe or Phineas and Ferb, I wouldn't rule it out. But I think, like, I've tried doing, like, tier lists and icebergs, and I did have fun making them. But they're really not what the channel is about, you know? These are, like, deep dives, intense deep dives into, like, early 2000s to modern cartoons. So, you know, animated movies and shows. You know, maybe as, like, bonus videos for, like, Patreon or YouTube membership, it's like I could do something like that. But, speaking of which, Patreon and YouTube membership exclusive videos are coming. I have already made a few of them. Basically, I'm trying to, like, make batches of them that I can, like, roll out over a few months to try and, like, keep them mostly consistent. So, as of now, I have videos finished on an analysis of Tyler from Turning Red, going over, like, his entire storyline from the film, and, like, you could argue, going over the queer subtext, but it is mostly just, like, you know, really analysing how his story kind of parallels May, in a sense. Then I have a video about why I love the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run, and a video about Disney's Chibiverse, which, like, those are very exciting videos that I'm excited to get out there and hear people's feedback on when, I'm planning to start uploading them towards the end of this month / the start of next month, so, you'll no doubt hear more about me talking about those when the time comes, because... yeah, sorry about the noises of the chair. It's, it happens. It happens. It's very old. It's very old. I'm still mad about My Name is Earl being left on cliffhanger. Good to know. I saw, like, a few episodes of My Name is Earl back on TV, like, back in the day, but, I never, like, seeked out and watched the whole thing. And knowing it ends on a cliffhanger, maybe I won't do that now. I can't stand cliffhangers. It's, like, one of my pet peeves is, like, shows are just like, yeah, we're gonna do, like, our first season, and we're gonna end it on this massive cliffhanger so that, like, you know, we are basically forcing the executives to give us a season 2, when that never works. Don't end your first seasons on a cliffhanger. Like, you can just don't. Unless you are sure you are getting a second season. But, yeah, that rant out of the way. Interesting, I must have missed that one. I'm a bit more mixed on Mayhem, however, there is a lot I really like and hope to see more of. I do think the future's at least brighter than it was a bit ago. Yeah, I mainly agree on that. You know, it's like, we have people in charge of the Muppet Studio at the moment, those being, Adam Goldberg and Jeff Yorks and Bill Barretta, who know where they have to take the franchise next. You know, they know how to... They really get the Muppets. And they have, like, planned out this whole, like, franchise plan of how to... Maybe they won't, like, you know, get the Muppets back on top, but make them relevant again. Make them a viable property again, which is kind of just all we need right now, honestly. Since I never got a review, what exactly do you have to say about Camp? I didn't see, like, a whole lot of Camp. I love its visual style. I love, like, all the character designs and everything like that. It's, like, the animation and, like, the colour palette of that show is just so appealing. It's very understimulating. It's just a very pleasant and relaxing show to watch, I suppose. Are you a Doctor Who fan? Not really. I watched it, when Matt Smith was the Doctor, but that was mostly out of peer pressure back in school because, you know, I'm in the UK. Everyone here loves Doctor Who, and I'm the anomaly. I'm the anomaly. Can't talk today. Jesus. You've seen Dear Evan Hansen, right? If yes, what are your thoughts on it? I listened to the cast recording recently and it's great. Also, have you seen the 2021 Dear Evan Hansen movie? I've not seen the Dear Evan Hansen movie, but in 2022, I did actually go and see the show on London. I saw it in one of its final weeks before it closed. And, you know, I enjoy it. Dear Evan Hansen, it's one of those shows where I really love the music. They're fine in the context of the actual show. It's like, I don't hate Dear Evan Hansen nearly as much as most people do. It's like, I really disagree with the, you know, this narrative that's formed around it that Evan is like this master manipulator who, like, is, like, purposefully tricking people for his own, like, selfish gain, which that just isn't the story of Dear Evan Hansen at all. He is, like, pressured into this lie, and every time he tries to explain the truth, people just don't believe him. But, yeah, you know, like, same with, like, Legally Blonde, where, like, people say, oh, it's a, well, you know, it glorifies stalking, when I'm just like, the whole point of the show is that Elle shouldn't be doing that, and learns how to grow beyond her, like, this idea of her, like, and this relationship. I'm not explaining this right. This is why I use scripts, people. This is why I use scripts. I know you're most animation, but do you have any interest in video games? If so, if you were forced to make a video game video, what would it be about? Oh, I do actually have a little something in the works. It's like I started scripting it, and then kind of like, it no longer sparked joy. So it went back in the list, and maybe I'll pick it up again, eventually. I really want to make a video about the Winnie the Pooh Flash game, Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby, and how it became like this, like, how it achieved this meme status for how deceptively challenging it is for a Winnie the Pooh game. And it's like this kind of this meta-narrative that formed around it of like Christopher Robin being like this world-destroying god. It's like I wrote like half of that script, and it is pretty good. I think it's very funny. But yeah, I might return to that at some point. So yeah, if I was gonna make a video game video, the first one I would make would be about Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby. And after that, I do kind of have this idea knocking around of like a massive retrospective on Disney Interactive that would be split into two parts. The first part would obviously just be going over the entire history of the studio, talking about each individual game, that sort of thing. And the second part would be specifically Disney Infinity. Because I hate my Disney Infinity video. It is 6 minutes long. It is so painfully, bad and surface level, and does not really get to the root of the exact problem with that game series. So basically, I would want to, make this massive series that would be in two parts. So we would have the tragic tale of Disney Interactive, and then Disney Infinity. Finite possibilities, limited fun. Someday, maybe, I'll get to make those videos. But, it's kind of, it would very much would have to be the right time and place. But, saying that, either next year or the year after will, actually be the 10-year anniversary of, Disney Interactive and Disney Infinity being shut down. So, maybe? that might be a fun thing to do around then. Oh yeah, I remember that one time, Schaefer Rillis called Evan a manipulative sociopath. I genuinely didn't know that many people completely misunderstood Dear Evan Hansen. I don't think it's a case of, I think it's a case most people just haven't seen it. I think they read, a synopsis on Wikipedia and go, oh my god, that's terrible. And, ignoring the actual context and the execution of the show itself. But, that's enough of that, because, I don't want to be burned at the stake by the theatre community by singing Dear Evan Hansen praises. I remember that game. I used to play it when I found it back on 4chan when I was a teenager. Never beat it, of course. Yeah, that's the thing. I just, it would be such a, if I'm gonna do that Winnie the Pooh video, it's I want to do, my standard, intro, and then I want to have it be, this, intense sports documentary of, my journey trying to, train up so I can beat Christopher Robin, which would just be, so stupid. But, maybe people would get a kick out of it. I don't know. That was one of the first videos I saw from you, lol. I would love to see a remake. It would not be a remake. It would be, the same topic, but I would actually do it well this time. I wouldn't just make a bunch of really lame jokes and leave it at that. I mean, that video is 6 minutes long. It is pathetic, honestly. But, no, it's there is a whole heap of actual problems with Disney Infinity that goes beyond just yeah, where's all the classic Disney characters? Even though, you know, that is my main issue with it. Like, there is so much history to go into with that game, and also my own personal relationship to it. Because, before I started YouTube, well, a few years before I started YouTube, I was, like, big in the Disney Infinity scene. Um, I was like 12 when I got like really into it. So from like 12 to 14, it was like those 2 years. I had a YouTube channel back then where I would like comb through all the trailers and like pick out all the different like cosmetic items and like references. Say, oh, this is like hinting that this character from this movie might be in the game. Like not understanding that just because like there were a few items of a certain movie in the game probably didn't mean they were actually going to make that a character. But because of that, I became rather infamous, especially on the Disney Infinity Facebook page, because of how much I wanted Gravity Falls in the game. So much so that, like, oh, it's so funny looking back on it now. It's like, I had, like, I was, like, 12 years old, and I had, like, grown-ass adults saying, like, oh, like, they were going to put my head in the guillotine, which was just... Oh my god, it's funny looking back on it now, really. Just how... It's funny and also kind of sad in a way. Just how invested I was in this game and the idea that they would include, like, characters from Gravity Falls. And, another, like, campaign I launched to try and get, like, Oliver and Company characters in the game, which actually got, like, acknowledged and recognized multiple times by the people who actually made the games, which I thought, like, meant they were a sure thing at this point. It's like the vice president of like the actual game on like live streams like name dropped Oliver and Dodger a few times, and I'm just like, that's me. I did that. But yeah, so it would be a very interesting like chapter in my life to revisit, I suppose. And no doubt cringe awfully at the like, 12-year-old me. What would you say is the number one most obscure thing that you are a fan of, ever? Ah, that is a very, very good question. Most obscure thing I'm a fan of? Because I can't really say, like, a Disney movie or anything like that. And it's like, the thing is, there's a lot of things I'm fans of that, like, to me, I think they're obscure, but to a lot of you out there, they'd probably just be mainstream. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about this one. We'll see if we can come back to that, if, like, anything comes to me at all. Also, we have had this issue in the past where it's like my camera will like cut out, it will like run out of battery while I'm streaming. This time I have a backup option, so if my camera does like, run out, we will just be switching to my webcam. So, we can just like keep this going as long as it needs to go on for. That is really racking my brain, because it's like there's so, like, I could say Teacher's Pet, I could say Nightmare Ned, but like going off things even I haven't made a video on yet because I just think they would be too obscure. I'm like thinking back to like my early years, and it's like random shows I would like watch on TV. I suppose, yeah. I suppose like there's a lot of like weird like British children's shows that I'm still like a really big fan of, even though I like, infamously don't like a lot of British TV. So, I love this show called The Rubber Dubbers, which is basically about like all these bath toys that come to life, which and they go on like these little adventures using their imagination. Um, yeah, I guess Rubber Dubbers. I guess that's my answer. I don't know if I'd ever make a video on it, but uh, you know, a lot can happen. It's like I said, I'm planning to do this for a long time, so maybe we'll get to a point where I'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel and I'll decide to, um, go to my heritage and like review some British shows. I do have this idea because I currently do live in I currently live where Nick Park, the creator of Wallace and Gromit, grew up, and there is actually a Wallace and Gromit statue in like the town centre of the city that I live in. And so before I move away, I do kind of want to do a Wallace and Gromit video just so I can film myself in front of that statue. Teacher's Pet is very obscure, to be fair. I have literally never seen anyone talk about the show except you and Nintendo. Well, actually, there is another person that I've recently started watching that, I guess, oh dear, I guess I'm gonna go send people to another channel, like, in the middle of my live stream right now. Let me just pull up their name, because it's like, I've been, like, watching their videos, and it's like, they do a lot of, like, kind of what I do. It's like, they, kind of picked up my niche in a sense. Now that I've kind of branched out and started doing a lot more general animation discussion, like with Steven Universe and SpongeBob and Strange Planet, they've kind of picked up the slack doing a lot of like early 2000s Disney TVA retrospectives. So let me just see if I can like pull them up. Because I would like highly recommend if you like my things, you'll probably like really enjoy their stuff. And for like how high quality and well written their videos are, they have shockingly few subscribers, especially considering they've been doing this for like 2 years now. Let me just see if I can like find them. Yeah, I can't even find them in like search results. That's like how bad it is. I'm determined to do this because it's like I believe you guys will absolutely love this creator. So I'm just going to have to scroll back from my watch later until I find it. Oh, here we go. So they're called Ryan Pineda, I think. I think that's how you do it. And they've got videos on Teacher's Pet, Timon and Pumbaa, Pepper Ann. So, you know, I would highly recommend, it's like, you know, if giving them a watch and subscribing, because they're really cool and they do like a lot of things that are quite similar to what I do. What country would you like to visit if you had the money? That's a very good question. That's a very good question, and I do have an answer to this one. So, there is a theme park in, I think, Malaysia. Is it Malaysia? I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to get this wrong, so give me a sec. Okay. Hold on a sec, hold on. We're almost there. I've almost found the name of the amusement park. Yeah, it is Malaysia. It is Malaysia. So, obviously, I am the Ice Age guy. And I have made it my mission to visit whatever remnants of Ice Age's, like, you know, past popularity are still out there. For instance, there is still an Ice Age themed hotel suite at a British amusement park that is like only like 2 hours away from me. And so I really want to go there. And I really want to stay in that room for a night. But in Malaysia, there is this place called Genting Skyworlds, and it has some like lands based on 20th Century Fox properties, which this was in the works before Disney bought them, and because like there was a whole thing, but basically as of now they still have the licensing rights. They opened in 2021 and it has a bunch of Fox properties including Blue Sky. They have a robots themed area, which that is just amazing to me because I love robots and would absolutely just be beside myself to see a place that just celebrates this relatively obscure film. But they have an Ice Age themed land with multiple attractions. And I really want to go. So I guess Malaysia. If I could go anywhere in the world right now, I would pick Malaysia. Oh, I've messed up my hair. Yeah, I've kind of just I fully accepted that I'm just the Ice Age guy at this point. Like I said, I can think of worse fates. I love these movies, and if this is my legacy, I'm gonna try my best to make it a damn good legacy. What are your all-time favorite video games? I mean, for me, I have a relatively small pool of like video games. I pretty much just stick to platformers and kart races. So you can imagine my childhood was very much dominated by Mario and Sonic. I guess my favorite games are honestly like licensed games just because, I enjoy getting to like actually explore and like play around in these worlds that I have such a deep emotional attachment to. In particular, SpongeBob or Jimmy Neutron, or I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think like what others. I even like Family Guy: Back to the Multiverse, and South Park: Stick of Truth. I still haven't played Fractured But Whole, but I will get around to it at some point. Yeah, so yeah, we've been going for like an hour and 10 minutes. So I think we're getting to a point now where I want to start wrapping it up. Because once again, I think a major problem with streams in the past have just been my inability to let it end before it just becomes tedious and like just there is nothing to talk about anymore. So if anyone wants to get in any last minute questions before we close it out, feel free right now. Um, do you watch anime? Not really, to be honest. It's nothing against like anime in general. It's obviously, it is a beautiful art form in its own right. It's kind of just a case of it's just never quite appealed to me, I suppose. But it's like I'm still able to appreciate just the artistry and talent that goes into it. And, I do love Ghibli movies, so or is it Ghibli? Oh no. Oh, I've committed a cardinal sin. Oh no. We've missed you and look forward to more content. Oh, thank you so much, 12 Neath. Uh, to be honest, yeah, I have kind of missed this. I have kind of missed just getting to, like, really connect with y'all and actually talk without it, being a heavily scripted video I've spent 3 to 4 weeks making. And I think we'll have wrapped this up before my camera even dies. So, winning. Winning at life right now. Oh, do you think you'll cover any of the TMNT content? I do have quite a strange relationship with TMNT. My first introduction to it was the 2007 animated movie, which still holds a very fond place in my heart, and maybe someday I would enjoy making a video about it. But because of that, it's like, I got like really into the 2003 series, and then I didn't watch the first Nickelodeon series, but I loved Rise, and I enjoyed Mutant Mayhem. I think the thing about TMNT for me is that I would really struggle to find anything new or interesting to say about it, mainly just because there are so many other creators out there who have done these, amazing retrospectives and reviews of everything that franchise has to offer, like Black Nerd Comedy or Jay's Reviews, who did an absolutely incredible retrospective on the 2003 series. Are you a fan of the Mean Girls musical? Have I seen the new 2024 one? I am a fan of the original Broadway production of Mean Girls. I have not seen the movie yet, but I am very much aware of how they butchered it. All I know about that movie is that Renee Rapp, Ali Cravalho, and the guy that they got to play Damien, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, they carry the film. Because everyone else is just kind of... it's that, No, I can't even watch when she touches his hair. And I watch a snake eat a cow. Regina needs to be toppled. Sorry, Gretchen, I swear. We'll get our party now. It's that. Oh, God. Oh, right. And that made the last few people on this stream close the tab. But no, it's like, I do have, an affectionate, spot for the Mean Girls Broadway show. I do really like a lot of the songs. I find it very funny. I really hope it's one of those shows I want to see live someday. Well, maybe I'll get the chance, because it is about to come to London, and I am going to London in October, so maybe I will get to see it. Who knows? Alright. It is 8:15, which means it is... Take away the 5... 3:15 in the States right now. See, I've still got those time zones. I'm still on Atlanta time right now. Even though I've been back from 2 weeks and have been struggling to adjust back into my regular life after having the most amazing experience ever. Yeah, but bottom line, I think I hate this country now. Oh, God. It's just like, I got back to the UK and I started hearing, British accents, and I'm just like, oh, do I have to go back to this? Will you watch Beetlejuice 2? I haven't seen the original Beetlejuice. I like the musical. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. There's a good chance that maybe someday I will just get the random urge to watch Beetlejuice 2. But yeah, so we will just go until 20 past. So we've got 4 more minutes, and then we will sign it off so I can go get back to working on videos and also make some food. See if there's any questions that are going to come through while I ponder something else to talk about. I'm running on empty. That's a Dear Evan Hansen reference. Oh, well, I mean, I suppose I do kind of have this other idea of something else that we could do at some point. It would be after I move into the new place. Maybe we try and recorrect the sins of the past. It's like we do the the Lego stream again, but this time it might actually be successful. Who knows? Because I did, for Christmas, oh dear me, like, a few years ago I received this, and I have still not built it. So maybe we could do that at some point. That might be a fun thing to do. And now it refuses to go back under my desk. There's dust all over it now. Ooh! I forgot. There is one more thing. One more thing I have planned for this stream that I almost forgot. And it would have been a shame to forget. Because I have, I've been holding onto this for like months. Waiting for the right opportunity. So, basically, obviously, I am a massive fan of SpongeBob. And the main thing is, over in the UK, it's not really as big as it used to be. It is very rare that I'm just out and about and I will just, come across SpongeBob merchandise to buy. Which was something I was very excited about going to the States over, and as you can see, I did get a few SpongeBob items while I was there. But I have had this for months, and it has just kind of been sitting around, because I'm just like, well, obviously I kind of want to get it on camera. I want, like, this, like, experience. So, I have a gummy Krabby Patty, which I have never had before. And to celebrate the SpongeBob video reaching 1,000 views, the first video to do that since the Owl House, which is almost a year ago, I am going to consume the giant gummy Krabby Patty and give you my thoughts. I really hope this is not out of date by now. It does not want to come out. Okay. Alright, here it is. Oh, God. Yeah, so, because they don't really, like, bring these over here a lot, like, when I first saw these, there was only, like, a few left in the box, so I'm just like, well, I've got to pick up one, because it's like, I'm a SpongeBob fan. Of course I have to try a Krabby Patty at some point. So, yeah, bottoms up, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, ooh, it does have a very nice aftertaste. Kind of what I expected. It's a candy burger. But yeah, I crossed that one off the bucket list, I guess. And with that, I will take one final look at the chat to see if there is any final questions before we wrap it all up. It was great to talk to you again. Have a nice day. Oh, thank you, Small. It's been absolutely lovely getting to chat with you again as well. And then, what a way to end the stream. Oh, thank you so much, 12neef. Yeah. Tried a gummy Krabby Patty for the first time. Gone wrong, not clickbait. But yeah, so I guess there's no more questions, so we are going to leave it there, I suppose. Thank you all so much for being here today. I apologise for that it has been such a long time since we did this. And when I move into my new place, I'm hopefully going to try doing regular streams again. Really, I guess the only way to, get more comfortable just speaking to a camera is to do it. And I feel there have been moments today where it's like the anxieties have ebbed almost. But yeah, lots of stuff coming in the future, so be on the lookout for the Muppets at Walt Disney World video, which I have not decided the title for yet, as well as some second channel content, the MomoCon vlog, that's going to be coming fairly soon. And then I'm also going to start putting out some Patreon and YouTube membership exclusive videos in the near future as well. So, lots of exciting stuff over the coming months that's hopefully going to start growing the channel again after we've kind of been stagnant for the past year. But yeah, that's all I have to say really. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see ya real soon.